Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Comedically Correct podcast. As always, I am Andrew Holiday, and with me, as always, is
Selena.
Selena. I said always too many times. I apologize, fans. But we're gonna start. We'll start off hot. Um, so I try not to be political on Facebook, mostly because I don't think of it as a platform. I just think of it as like now I'm trying not to think of it as a platform. I think it was just a place for me and my friends to chat and
To fake argue about shit.
yeah, and you know, I I didn't think I was posting something that political recently,
Hmm.
and it ended up starting a huge argument that Selena backed me up on. Thank very nicely. But then
It's because I'm very anti-corporation. So any evil corporation, I'm like, yeah, I hate it. Even if I use it, I'm like, I still hate it though.
yeah, I'm sort of the same way. Like I'm very much anti a lot of Nike's practices, but at the same time, those are the most durable and comfortable shoes I've ever had. So
You should,
um
I mean, I don't know if Brooks has better practices, but they are a very comfortable shoe. Sometimes I feel like with the Nike, there's either too much toe room for me or not enough toe room. But Brooks is like just right.
uh
Plus, all the nurses wear them, so
yeah.
not all of them, but some of them.
Speaking of nurses, I do have an OnlyFans account. Anyway, we will talk about that later. Um, so uh I posted we should boycott Uber. Okay, so I know that there's a lot of shady companies, but Uber specifically put its employees in danger to curry public favor. They did this in New
Right.
York, in multiple places in Britain, in California, trying to stomp out like cab unions and stuff. And they wanted to create violent situations because they figured that would curry them public favor. Now, Uber already was innovative, and I understand innovation is going to win. Like Uber's, I've never had, I've never had a bad experience with Uber. I know people have, and Lyft, but and I'm not anti the Uber drivers, Lyft drivers that are just trying to make money. I'm not saying anything like that. But Uber, the company, legitimately put its employees in harm's way intentionally to
Hmm.
curry public favor. And
Hmm.
I was like, oh well, I can't stand for that. Like
Right.
you got to stand for something.
Right.
So people got mad at me for that, saying, well, that didn't happen in America. And I was like, does that matter? And one, actually did. And two, they were like, well, it happened a long time ago, previously in the past. And I was like, first off, these are from 2018. That's not
Yeah,
that.
okay, but the Germans did the
Yeah.
Holocaust, right? And does anybody trust them still? Like, are they allowed to have
They're still not allowed to have
things?
armies,
They're not
right?
allowed to have, I don't know, they're not allowed to do a lot of shit.
Yeah. They're only
They're
able to
not
have,
invited to any of the wars. They're in trouble.
yeah. Like even when like they offer public support, we're like, no, thank you.
It's
They're
like,
like,
no,
oh,
you're good. You can sit this one out
yeah.
for
They
another
were,
couple hundred forever.
yeah, they're all like offering public support for Ukraine. They're like, thank you for all the, not you,
Not
Germany,
you.
sit down.
Not you. No, thank you. I'm
So
good, Germany. We're
yeah,
good.
yeah, we're fine. But yeah, so
I don't think that's actually true. I think they are allowed to like help, but I don't think they're allowed to like.
they're not.
I'm sure there's
I
some things that they're restricted from.
I think that they're not. There's two types of armies you're allowed to have. You're allowed to have a defensive army, but you can't have you can have like a national guard to
Uh-huh.
defend your borders and defend the people in your and govern your own people, but you can't have like an army big enough to invade other places. I think that they're not
Yeah,
allowed to have that. But
probably.
you should ask somebody smarter. I'm wearing glasses today, but that doesn't mean I'm smart. It means my eyes are tired.
I was gonna say those are yellow light glasses or blue light glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just to prevent me from getting headaches because I play too many video games and watch too much TV. It's not
Same.
because I'm smart. Because smart people, they're so smart that their eyes don't work right or something. I don't know. They're all
Yeah.
nerds.
I wear
Um,
contacts. My eyes don't work.
but so Selena backed me up. And then there's just one guy, he's like, I don't care.
Well, then he started talking about like, okay, so this in this particular part of the comment thread, he says, um, because you made a comment about fixing corporate corruption, and he said, start with Sleepy Joe and the rigging of presidential elections with influence with the media. Other than that, Uber is here to stay. The article that is linked talks about overseas. This is the United States of America. Which I laugh reacted to because
It's kind of a dumb
he
answer.
rigged the presidential election. This guy's already not very smart.
Well, also like rigging the presidential election via influence, like if you
has
voted
nothing
for,
to do with corporations and corruption.
yeah, like that's a different type of corruption. And two, like didn't like Russia kind of hack the election earlier?
Yeah,
The first one?
2016. They legitimately did it.
Yeah, and we know they did it.
It's been proven.
So like I mean like yeah, if people are faking votes and yeah, I'm sure it happens on like some small scale here and there every year.
Well,
but
honestly, like every case that they've caught of like voter fraud, it's almost always a Republican.
yeah, but even then, like it's not enough to sway.
No, it's not significant.
Yeah. So, like, I
Voter
agree.
fraud, like legitimate voter fraud, is more prevalent than, but just barely more prevalent than trans athletes.
Yeah.
Like it's such a small fucking problem.
Well, it's a small problem that seems to take a lot of news.
Yeah.
We had a conversation about
Right.
trans athletes before, and it was bad audio. So maybe we'll have a conversation about that again.
Oh.
There's
On
actually
my behalf or on your behalf?
it was your audio that messed
Is
up.
mine? Okay.
Yeah.
Does
but
it sound okay today?
sounds okay today.
Okay.
And
One day I'm gonna figure out how to hook up like my actual condenser mic. And then it'll sound a lot better, but
yeah, I have some
don't
really
know how
nice
to do that
equipment
right
too. They're just all in color. They're all in Texas and they're getting sent over here. Oh yeah. And then the guy was like just obsessed with the idea that you lived in Texas. Or
yeah, he
that
was
you
like,
lived in
"Oh,
Colorado,
the
California.
California sucks, blah blah blah, and that's why you should just stay over there." And I was like, I'm from Texas. I live here. And just because something doesn't affect you directly doesn't mean that it's not bad. Like, okay, so me personally, I'm not a Jewish person, but that doesn't mean I don't think the Holocaust sucked just because it didn't happen to me or people in my family.
Yeah, I think that
Like he just had like no empathy. And so I just told him to see, keep that corporate cock in his mouth or whatever. He's just guzzling that corporate cum. And then he said that I had, that I was using poor language and I shouldn't be around children. And then told me that I had a semen deficiency.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like, all I said was that you were sucking dick. You're literally telling me that I need to guzzle cum like you do, like you weirdo. I don't know. I was like, that's a perfectly strange thing to say to a human being.
Yeah. And then it's like, first off, no woman has ever been made better by semen.
No.
Like semen's not like a magic elixir. Like, my mom.
It's not like a vitamin. Like you're not gonna.
Yeah, my mom was
It's not healthy.
very triggered by that guy. So if he ends up dead, I have to come up with an alibi for my mom. But other than that, yeah. Well, first off, like none of his arguments made sense, and this is like why I stopped arguing with people on Facebook specifically, is because it just upsets people. It annoys me. I never get through to anybody. Like people that either already agree with me or they'll argue to the death beyond logic on why I'm wrong. Like everything
Hold
I
on.
said was
You'll have to repeat that part where you said, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You'll have to repeat the part that you said people who agree with me because it was like,
Oh yeah. Like, well, people either already agree with me and they'll just say and they'll just like or whatever the comment, or they'll
or they know
disagree.
that you're like joking. Like,
Yeah, they'll know I'm joking. There's a lot of stuff that I say just sarcastically, but or they'll disagree with me and they'll go to the ends of the earth to prove that they're right beyond logic. Like,
yeah.
there-
I don't think he responded after I told him that he's hogging all the cum for himself.
yeah. Well, like, and then like I just thought it was weird that he was trying to take a moral high ground, like after saying some like bullshit.
Yeah, he's
like
like, you shouldn't be around children. because you use bad language because I think I said dick or cock or something.
Yeah, and then he said
And
that you
then
had
yeah,
yeah, and then he said you had like a sperm deficiency, and I was like, that's kind of fucked up.
like worse. Also, the only thing you can see, because my Facebook profile is private, so the only thing that most people can see is like my profile picture and my like Facebook banner picture,
Oh yeah.
which is like it says "What am I, Chop Lesbian?" It's one of my stickers that I have, but
Oh,
like just
maybe.
because that says the word lesbian, that doesn't mean that I don't understand. It's just a weird thing to say to someone.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Also, I think maybe a semen deficiency might actually be like a medical diagnosis for men.
Maybe. Gosh, I
So
hope
not
not.
only is it like a weird, gross thing to say, might also be insulting to people with a medical condition.
And they're like, I actually have a semen deficiency. It's
I
like
only
my
produce 2 semens. I don't know how that works.
well, like apparently, like 10 million is like a small amount, like or like 11 million is a small amount. So like, yeah, you want a lot of sperm because
I'm, I mean, I'm sure you're correct.
because sex is inefficient. Like you gotta shoot millions and millions up there to get anything past the goal.
Okay.
I
I'll take your word for it, I guess.
little from the little I know about creation. Um, so anyway, um, but yeah, that was just something that just like a little funny thing that happened between episodes. So Facebook drama. Um, so Diary of a Wimpy Kid. You want to go into that?
Yeah, so the kid who played Diary of a Wimpy Kid, he's Canadian actor. Um I probably should have pulled this up beforehand.
He's a Canadian. It's weird because they're all so nice.
Right. It's anytime I hear about like a Canadian who commits a crime, I'm like, are you sure?
It's like, was it one of us that just went up there?
Mm.
Was it a naturalized Canadian?
All right, so he appeared on Riverdale in the 2010 version of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, pled guilty to killing his mother in March, but also allegedly plotted to kill the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
What a dick.
He killed his mom because he was he wasn't going to school or he was doing poorly in school or something and he didn't want her to find out, so he killed her.
Dang. That's really smart.
I
Like
mean,
my mom just yells at me.
I guess it solves the problem. She's not ever going to know. But you're gonna be in more trouble, so I don't know why.
I don't know. Have you seen my mom yell at people?
But
I
he's
can
still
see it.
alive.
Well, yeah, no, but like I can see his point.
It doesn't say why he was plotting to kill the prime minister, though. Suffered from clinical depression. He should have just. It's horrible to say that he should have just killed himself, but if you're gonna kill someone else, you might as well, like,
Yeah,
you should just kill yourself instead. If
That's
you really want to murder.
yeah. I said that one time, and nobody responded well to it because I was like, I don't
Well, it's
think.
not a good thing to say.
Well, like I don't think suicide is good, but like there's a thing called murder suicide, and I think those people should just start with the suicide. Like all these
Right.
mass shooters that kill themselves at the end, they should start with a suicide.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but like I don't know, people don't respond to like mass shooting and suicides are really hard, like nuts to crack as far as comedy goes.
I mean, I think there's probably, um, I know one guy who has a pretty good school shooting joke. Um, I mean, it's not good in the sense that it's fun, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the controversy that it would develop.
Yeah, mass shootings kind of I don't know. Mass shootings are too like it's getting to the point where like they're in everybody's backyard now. Like there was one in Odessa. My
Yeah.
brother's old Walmart got shot up. The freaking movie theater that I've gone to 1,000 times got shot up. And like when Odessa was getting shot up, my dad, my brother, and me were just fucking driving around like with all this carnage going around, not knowing what was going on. We went to Twin Peaks and all the Twin Peaks girls ran outside. We're like, "What are you guys doing?" And they're like, "A baby just got shot." And we're like, "Oh, well,
What?
this is Odessa. Like, obviously, a baby's gonna get shot. He probably owed somebody money."
This happens.
Yeah, the baby's okay before we get letters. The baby's fine. But a bunch of other people got shot and killed that day, and we didn't even know. And then by the time we found out, like everything closed, which is kind of crazy for Odessa because there's so many shootings in Odessa that like bars don't even stay closed the next day when somebody gets shot and killed at that bar. Like bar 10, a dude got shot and killed at bar 10. The
Uh-huh.
next day we were having our open mics there again.
Was it even, I mean, do
Like
you say something about it or are you just like, you just ignore it? I feel like you have to say something about it.
um
Just like take a shot. This one's pour
yeah,
one out for,
yeah,
that's
pour one
horrible.
out to the guy that bled out in the parking lot.
That's just horrible.
Well, no, and then like Jaguars, which by the way just got busted for a bunch of shit. You
Oh,
know how
we
many
should do
people?
that one too.
Yeah, you know how many people got murdered at Jaguars?
Why do people always get killed at strip clubs?
I don't know, like alcohol,
What's the
horny men.
deal?
Yeah,
That I think honestly, horny men is the real problem. That's the
yeah,
real problem America is facing.
yeah. It's just horny
Because
men.
that's the source of sexual harassment. It's the source of
Yeah,
mass murderers. It's just horny men that nobody wants to fuck. But it's like, if you're not, like,
yeah,
if you really, really want to get fucked and you just can't do it, you're not trying very hard.
yeah. Just
Like, or you're just that unbearable of a human being.
or just save up and pay for it. Like if no one will do it for free, just pay for it.
Yeah, why
Don't
not?
don't go on a rampage shooting. Yeah, they were talking about like sexual frustration being like one of the most common indicators with violent crimes and
Yeah.
with certain types of violent crimes, particularly like mass shootings and serial killers and stuff like that. And so I was like, well, just maybe like I don't know, like once China once China like perfects like those sex dolls, hmm, like maybe it's just like mental health sex dolls or something. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. By the
I
way,
mean, I
I'm
think sex dolls is a pretty good solution.
yeah, I mean like hopefully. Um like I'm waiting on the Scarlett Johansson doll so I can just like delete my Tinder account.
You're like, I don't need anybody. I got ScoJo.
Yeah.
I got ScoJo at home.
Yes. It's like tonight she's going to be playing her role of a lifetime. Anyway, so
Oh God.
before I get too deep into that. Yeah, so Jaguars, a local strip club in Odessa, where I used to live, not very far from where you live. Um, not very far from your hometown, that is, uh, was just got busted for um not having a sexual oriented business license, which they haven't had for years. I don't know who owns Jaguars, but they never buy these licenses because they got in trouble for not having a liquor license multiple times. They've gotten in trouble for underage dancers. They've gotten in trouble for prostitution. People just getting murdered all the time, as we already mentioned. There, I don't know why that place is still open, but it's a party. I've been there a
Because
bunch of.
people need to go out and get some, like, they need to see naked bodies in real life because nobody wants to show them one.
It's Odessa. Everybody wants to show their naked body in Odessa. It's very nude area. But yeah, but I just think it's weird because all the girls got arrested too. Like, why is it the girls' fault that the owners didn't have their sexual oriented business license?
Right. Why do they need a sexually oriented business license in the first place?
So from what I understand, so if you have a business that's sexually oriented, like a strip club, you have to have a very special license and it's really expensive.
But for
And
what? Like, what is the purpose? What function does it serve outside of just giving money to the government for a fucking business?
um I actually don't know, but each girl that's there also has to have that license too. And that's to avoid
Well, but the venue should be paying for it if they're hiring these girls.
Well, maybe not. Like I know that like you don't necessarily pay truck drivers to get their CDLs. Some companies do, some companies don't. But if a truck driver,
Well, they should.
some truck drivers already have their CDLs, and a lot of these girls actually come from out of town. My aunt used to drive Uber, so she used to drive guys or girls to work all the time there. And yeah, some of them come from like all the way out of town and work there because it's the oil field, and when it's up, it's up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can
guys,
make good money. I did like a lot of the comments on that story on Facebook were very much like, just let them go.
yeah,
Leave these girls alone.
yeah, the comments were freaking hysterical. By the way, I was reading
It
through
was
the
people
comments.
just like picking which ones they liked.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna go bail her out and stuff. So yeah,
I thought that was pretty good. That's the kind of solidarity, like pro sex work commentary I like to see. Bail these girls out, leave them alone, let them work.
yeah. By the way, I'm not gonna tell you which one. One of those people in those mugshots, I caught shoplifting years ago.
Well, she probably doesn't need to shoplift anymore. Now she makes the money unless she's just going to do it for
Okay,
fun.
first off, I didn't say that it was a she, and second, I've actually caught strippers shoplifting before. I don't know what. I caught these two strippers
Maybe
shoplifting.
they just do it for the thrill.
I don't know why, but one of them, she started yelling. She got right in my face. She's like, "Why would I need to steal stuff?" And she had at least 10 G's in cash on her right then.
You're like, good question. Why do you need to steal?
I was like, exactly. I think I look like Steven Seagal right now. Like I have like the chubby
You look
face.
like Steven Seagal?
Yeah, like but in a not in a good way, like in a bad way. Like I have that goatee.
Okay.
So anyway, we'll go to my story next. But yeah, let the
Oh,
girls go.
I mean, speaking of a round face, I did just get back from the DMV
Oh
only
yeah,
moments ago, like an hour ago. Um,
did you get a good picture?
but I mean, I guess it's a picture that looks like my face. And currently my face is very much more round than it was when I first got my license when I was or no, when I got my new picture of my license when I was 18. But I look pretty much the same. It's just my face is a lot rounder now.
Oh yeah, no, like I was noticed. They made me change my ID. The last ID I got was like when I was 18, and then they made me change my ID, and I was like, that's an
It's
unfortunate
depressing.
change. Like the only good change was I didn't have a coconut necklace anymore. I was like, I at least grew out of that. I had a dumb douchebag coconut necklace. Um, oh yeah, did you ever meet Aaron Ageen? I think it was Aaron Ageen. They're
I don't
like
think so.
they're like send a good hate face shot for your so we can put you on a flyer. And he's like, okay, like can it be anything? He's like, yeah. So we're thinking like he's just gonna take a good face shot of himself or find something on Facebook. And he literally sent a picture of his ID.
I think that's pretty good.
Well, yeah, but I was like,
I love an ID picture because I'm like, yep, that's what your face looks like.
yeah. I was like, all right, well, I mean, like, it's no better or worse than anybody else's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I would prefer that picture to a selfie. I hate whenever I ask people for pictures, like for posters and stuff, and they like send me a selfie. I'm like, this is not everybody get a headshot. It's not that hard. Have somebody at an open mic take a picture of your face next to a microphone.
Yeah. And I promise I won't crop a penis in there. Just send it.
It doesn't have to be like an action shot of you actually performing comedy. It can be kind of staged.
Yeah. Like
But
they
you
don't
need
know.
a few different
You
types
can't
of
hear a picture.
pictures.
Yeah.
Right.
What I noticed about because I was trying to get a picture of you and I was trying to save one off your Facebook. And I don't know, like there's like a new setting, maybe you have it too, where you can't save pictures off Facebook and other people's pictures on Facebook anymore.
Oh,
And I only realized, like, I don't know if that's like a
maybe
setting
it's because my profile is private.
I don't know, maybe because like I was trying to save one of your pictures. Like I ended up using a different picture that you sent me. But yeah, for our
Yeah.
poster.
All my pictures that I use for like, I mean, pretty much everything, they're all super old. But I'm usually too busy to like, I mean, number one, I'm not a selfies kind of person, not because I think there's anything wrong with taking selfies, but I've never been comfortable with it. I never figured out how to do it. I don't know. when I was supposed to learn how to take good pictures of myself, but I didn't fucking learn that.
Yeah.
Also, I'm always too busy at open mics to worry about taking pictures of myself because I'm trying to do everything else, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. Like I had to go out of my way and like remember to start taking pictures just for like promotion purposes.
Yeah,
Yeah. My sister told me the high go high and get a lower version of your face.
right.
So she said that, so you can avoid the double chins and stuff like that. But yeah, my sister takes like 10,000 selfies. She'll take 10,000 selfies and then post one. I actually have a video of her just taking selfies in the back of my car. Like, it's actually really funny.
Just like moving herself like 2 inches this way, 2 inches that way.
Yeah, and then like more of a smile, less of a smile, like, and then like a duck face for like a second. And you're like, dude, what? But yeah.
I don't know. I've never understood the impulse to take a picture of yourself.
Yeah.
I guess that like on some level I understand the impulse to do it. I just don't like to do it.
I guess I get the impulse too. Like, I hate it when somebody like asks me to send them a selfie. Like if I'm like talking to a girl and they're like, send me a selfie, and you're like, it's not.
It means I have to take one.
Yeah. But okay, so um here's a story. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna show you guys a picture really fast. I want our audience's opinion on this, but we're gonna give our opinions on this here in a second as well. So it's this one. So if you guys look at this poster right here, a little bit of background for it. This is I'll read it for you guys. Jake was drunk. Josie was drunk. Jake and Josie hooked up. Josie could not consent. The next day, Jake was charged with rape. And then it just says, be responsible. And then in the small print, a woman who is intoxicated cannot give her legal consent for sex. So proceeding under these circumstances is a crime and only takes a single day to ruin your life.
But it's only if like she would have to press charges though.
One, yeah, she would have to press charges.
And two, if a woman can't consent when she's drunk, then neither can a man.
Yeah. So that's something that a lot of people pointed out. Like if there's an idea of equal rights and stuff like that. And I understand that like although equal rights doesn't mean that like everything is going to be equal between men and women just because of different things about our biology, like men being naturally stronger, etc. But
Yeah,
like,
but men, I mean, I don't know. Men get raped too. It's just different. And I know that there are some like there are legitimately some people in this world that don't think that men can get raped by women the same way a man can rape a woman.
yeah, and those people, I don't think they're thinking about it correctly.
Well, and I think they would have a very different opinion if it fucking happened to them or somebody that they knew.
Yeah. So this is the poster right
Because it's
here.
not because rape isn't really about it's not about sex. It's about power and it's about violence.
Typically, yes.
People don't like it's not
Yeah, like especially when it comes like prison rape, a lot of that stuff.
yeah, and like I mean conquering armies have been well known for raping the population that they're conquering.
Yeah, and then actually I think that there was like even raping the men that you conquered was like a thing. I think Vikings
Yeah.
did that. And it was just like a show of dominance, show of power. But the thing is, so one, I actually think that, and one of the comments on it was, I think that that poster was made to protect men. And a little context for the poster, it was made in 2008, and the lady, and I think it was at Michigan. The lady that was talking about it said that there was like maybe like 10 made, and there was like a bit of a controversy at the time. but it was confirmed to be real when I first saw it because it's recently gone. The reason that I bring it up now is that it was recently kind of gone viral back on TikTok. A lot of people are talking about it, and the Daily Dot recently updated a story. The Daily Dot did this story in 2015, and then updated it just this month.
Well, I mean, is it based on a real thing, or is it just like a poster that they're trying to make some kind of public service announcement? I know that there are real life situations where women have been drunk and unable to consent, and then a man has sex with her anyway, like rapes her anyway. But
Yeah.
is this particular, how do we know that that is this particular situation?
So I don't know what this, but it's the way that I feel like the person is implying is that they're both equally drunk, and you kind of wonder what, and those are like just weird questions to ask. Like, what if like two people they get blackout drunk together? They're both adults. They both get blackout drunk together, and then the next day they can both like deduce that they had sex when they were both blackout drunk. Who's the criminal?
Or is anybody a criminal?
Like,
Like,
is anybody a
is it,
criminal in those situations? And then, like, I'm not talking about those predatory people that, and it doesn't have to be man or girl, but like predatory people that look for drunk people to take advantage of.
yeah.
I'm talking about people just being intoxicated because everybody's been like party girl wasted, right? And that's just when a
Yeah,
lot
people
of,
always like, I mean,
and as an adult,
just
you
because just because you had a sexual encounter that you maybe regret, that doesn't necessarily make that encounter a rape.
yes,
And it doesn't help women who actually have been raped to call everything rape.
yeah, and you see more and more stories that are
Women,
described.
I mean, you know, people in general.
Yeah, and you see more and more stories that are described like that with the Overton window, Overton what or Overton window, Almonton window, whatever that window is called, kind of shifting in that direction where people are rephrasing bad sexual experiences as rape. Like if the guy is mean to you afterwards, or the girl is mean to you afterwards, or whatever, or it wasn't a relationship, it was just a one night stand, and then they're like, okay, that was rape. There was a case at Harvard where a guy was expelled, and you can see in the videos. So the case was thrown out by the judge, but you can see in the videos him and this girl meet at a bar. They're all over each other, and they're both clearly drunk. But
Mhm.
she gets a cab. She signs him in to her dorm, and then him and her go into her dorm room and they have sex. And then the next day she was talking to her friends, and then her friends were like, well, you were too drunk to consent, even though they were both drinking together and they were both drunk. So she presses charges against him for rape. He goes to jail. He loses. He gets kicked out of Harvard. And even though the case was thrown out because there was clear evidence, and then like another,
Well, but I mean, this,
and then there was another case at Occidental College that was pretty similar.
I don't know.
So
I mean, that's a tough, because did she just say that she was,
too drunk
did
to
she only
consent.
say that she said that, or her friend said that and she was like, oh, okay, I guess that's true?
Well, according to
Because if she would have if she would have wanted to fuck him anyway, and she
When-
just happened to be drunk whenever they did.
well, I don't know. Like I think
But it's kind of like, I don't know, that's kind of hard to determine.
I don't know. Like there are a lot of things that like you're like when you're sober, you're like I would never do that, and then when you're drunk, you do that, but you still own those decisions. Like I would never jump 3 tables as a
Yeah.
sober person because I know I'm
Yeah.
dumb. No, it won't work out. But as a drunk person, I do it, and it's my decision. I did it, even though it was a dumb decision, and I have
Right.
to reap the consequences of it. And that's not the same as being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
That's you making a
Yeah,
bet.
like yeah, it's like the thing you were saying earlier. It's like it's one thing if the girl is blackout drunk, passed out on the floor, and somebody decides to take advantage of that. It's a different thing if two people are drunk, but not like
Yeah.
they just did something stupid that maybe they'd regret.
And then there's like these weird hypotheticals like have you ever seen like a married couple go out? It doesn't matter, but like one's drinking and kind of getting drunk, and then the other one's like, well, he's like, he or she is driving that night, so they're like, they're kind of keeping it light, but the other one kind of gets drunk, and then they go home and they have sex. Yeah, or like a couple that's dating does that.
Yeah.
I know I was actually dating a girl who was pregnant for a while, and she still wanted to come hang out. There were plenty of nights that I got drunk and she didn't drink at all,
Hmm.
and we still had sex. Like, not not wanting to tell too much of my sex life, but yeah, like I was never at a place like I know that there's like a place where I'm making dumb decisions because I'm drunk, but I'm still an adult and I still own those decisions versus being completely blackout. Like I can barely walk for myself.
Yeah.
Like I still made the decision to get that drunk. So I think I should, so certain consequences should be reaped, like certain consequences I should own because it's my decision to get that drunk. But at the same time, somebody takes advantage of me, um, that would still be on them as
Yeah,
well.
like if I mean it's like if you're being robbed because you're drunk because you can't like you're too inebriated to really figure the shit out. That like
Yeah.
that doesn't make it okay for that person to rob you.
Yeah. Like you can argue, like, I don't want to victim blame, but you can argue, yeah, you shouldn't get that drunk. You should watch out for yourself a little bit better. But
Right,
at
but
the
people
same time,
shouldn't
but
take advantage of you still. It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
like that doesn't change the fact that that's not okay.
Right.
So yeah, I think we come down on that. Um, my mom doesn't like it because she says it takes agency from women. It's like saying, oh, women are these delicate flowers that can't make decisions for themselves. So if a woman is drunk, she's obviously not deciding to sleep with you because she wants to. Like, one
Maybe
of
she
the
does. I don't know. That
see,
sounds bad.
yeah, yeah, maybe, but women have fought for agency for years. And then one of my mom's problems with the new feminism movement is that things like that take agency away from women when they act like women are too weak to make decisions for themselves. And we're not talking about women being taken advantage of because being drugged, drunk, or whatever. We're talking about making decisions to get, you know, get drunk and to do things while you're drunk.
Yeah,
Not,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like almost all of my friends, like my female friends, have had sex with people that they regret having sex with when they were drunk.
sure. I think
Like
everybody
they
does.
make dumb decisions, but it's not like they did make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's fair. Like I've had plenty of experiences where I
Yeah.
was like, "Ah, I wish I didn't do that. That
Yeah. I mean,
was,
and I also know women that have been like taken advantage of when they were blackout drunk.
yeah. Well, I've met those type of dudes. One time we were just at this dude's house. This guy literally, I made like a sexist joke, like just being sarcastic, and the guy like went off on me, like he's like, "You need to learn to respect." And I was like, "Geez, all right." And then we went back to his house to drink beer, and my friend Kayla fell asleep on his couch, and then he just started acting weird and started kicking everybody out of the house. And he's like, "No, she's fine. She's fine." And I was like, no, like I gotta wake her up. And dude,
Yeah.
it was like 2 hours, and he got started getting aggressive. He started reminding us that he had a gun, and I was like, dude, chill out, man. I'm not leaving without my friend. Like if I
Yeah,
see her,
drunk people with guns are fucking scary.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, like Odessa, like it got to the point where I was like, everybody's drunk and has a gun here. There's a good
That's just
point.
a bad combination.
There's a good point, by the way. Whenever they say like that good guy with the gun bullshit, everybody in Odessa has a gun, and we had a mass shooter, and it
So that
was
does that mean there's no good people in Odessa?
well, no, there's good people in Odessa, and I'm sure there's good
That's what I'm
people in.
saying. Yeah, that's my point is like,
Oh, okay,
and it still occurred, you know.
yeah, and it was not fun, but yeah, like, and then I had friends. They're like, "Man, dude, if I had just saw him," and I was like, "You would have done what?
You would have done nothing.
You would have like with your little
Most
derringer
people
that
would
you
have
hide.
done nothing.
I would have driven away quickly. Like I wish and I hope that in a situation like that, I would do something heroic or like do the right thing. Like I hope about it. Like I think people fantasize about that type of stuff, but I don't know. There's a very good chance that I would be like, well, they're gonna find my body with poop in my underwear.
right?
It's like I'm gonna play dead and hope he's not checking closely. I really don't know. Um, like I've thought about it and stuff like that. So like I don't know what I do in that situation, but there was a small part of me that was like, I met Beto at work that very next day. He came to Odessa. I took a creep shot with him.
It's just side story.
Yeah. And then everybody's like, I hate Beto O'Rourke, like all my dumb Republican friends. And I was like, all right. Like I think I hate Republicans when I'm in Texas, and then I get to Colorado. I'm like, I kind of hate
Like,
Democrats
I don't know.
too.
I think I get it.
Like I get what you're talking about. Like Republicans, I'm gonna say this. They're slightly more fun to drink with. Democrats, sometimes they get too preachy when they get drunk. Sometimes.
That's fair.
Republicans, like they might get more violent and dangerous. Like they're more likely to accidentally shoot you when they're drunk. So I don't know. You take your good with your bad. But yeah, I think that one of my problems, one of the problems that I've heard about feminism lately, and this is some of the new age feminism, a girl described it like this on TikTok. And so I remembered it. Feminism nowadays isn't about equality. Feminism nowadays is about wanting women wanting the power of men, while keeping the privilege of women and the accountability of a child.
I
And
disagree.
I disagree in a general sense, but I do think that those bad actors are out there.
Right. But I don't think that is what the majority of feminists want.
No, I completely agree.
And it's
It,
not like I wouldn't even call that feminism. That's just people who want an excuse to do whatever they want to do without facing, oh, well, then I get to do this because I'm a woman. And people do that. And that's not exclusive to feminism. That's like everything.
yeah, that's not exclusive to feminism.
That's like people want to be like, okay, that guy's kind of racist. You're like, yeah, but he's gay. Yeah, that doesn't mean he can't be racist.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that Nazi over there. Yeah, but he's trans. It's like, yeah, but it's
Still a
still the
Nazi,
Nazi.
still bad.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, no, it's like, okay, we accept but
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, um,
like
oh, what's his name?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Christian, also, yes, bad. But Christian Walker,
I don't know who that is.
he's like he's an internet celebrity
Oh, okay.
guy. He's Herschel. So Herschel Walker, the football player,
Oh, okay.
who's now doing all the political stuff, it's his son. And he's gay and he's like a light-skinned black guy and he's one of those log cabin Republicans, which is like gay Republicans, which is the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. But he's always talking about like he was always talking about like black men need to be better fathers to their children. And side note, his father has like 4 illegitimate children that he doesn't claim and does not help with.
Yeah.
But
he's
always saying like,
see, you're proving my point.
yeah, he's always saying bad things about black people. He's always saying
Yeah.
bad things about gay people, trans people. He said about
I've heard
gay
Candace
people
Owens
that
talk.
are gay people that use surrogacy. He says it's demonic. Now I have a different, I don't think surrogacy is demonic because gay people are using it. I think surrogacy is a weird slavery thing.
Well, I mean, like they're
But it's
choosing.
completely different. Like I don't think it's demonic because gay people are doing it.
Well, I mean, like they're still like doing it on purpose. Like they're signing contracts usually.
Right, but it's like it's not because it's a class thing, right? So the people who can afford surrogacy generally are upper class, very rich people, and the people that have to do surrogacy like for money don't have that much other opportunity that to make the kind of money that they would make during surrogacy. But you're literally like you're putting your life, your health, your body at risk for someone else's benefit, which
Well,
you kind of are always doing.
yeah, yeah, that's true in like a lot of different jobs. Like how many like
I mean, that's true for
deep
people that
sea
work at fucking
drillers.
Amazon.
Yeah, or like what's the most dangerous job? Like a fisherman, like a deep sea fisherman. Like most of those
Probably.
guys aren't like heirs
Deadliest
to
catch.
like
Yeah.
heirs to the Snickers fortune. or
Right.
whatever. So
And honestly, I've legitimately looked into doing surrogacy because I know just with my family history that I'm probably pretty fertile. But then the idea of like not drinking or doing drugs for 9 months doesn't sound super fun.
it's like I have this
Like
idea for this side gig, but
9 months is a long time.
9 months without beer. Yeah, yeah. Now you know my life. I'm going way longer than 9 months.
You can't drink,
Well, I can a little bit, and at
but you
some
can't
point,
get drunk.
yeah, no, I can't like get drunk.
What
Drunk.
about and I know you're not supposed to smoke, right?
I'm not supposed to smoke, but I can.
You can do edibles.
I can do edibles.
Uh-huh. Have you done
So,
them?
uh, I'm gonna wait till after my next surgery, and then
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna look into that more. Both my doctors said yeah. So like the first doctors I asked was in Texas. I was like,
Uh-huh.
and then they're like, I can't tell you yes, but it's not a
Right.
no. And then when I got here, they were a little bit
What
more.
about heroin? Did they say you could do heroin? I
Oh
know that's
yeah,
been on your goal list for a long time.
yeah. No, I can straight do heroin whenever I
Good.
want now. In fact, actually, they just give me clean needles whenever I ask.
That's good. There should be clean needles for intravenous drug users.
Yeah, I actually completely agree. Because what like it's like one of those things that like sounds counterintuitive, but it ends up like reaping huge benefits.
It saves
Is
lives.
yeah, because you're like, well, give them clean stuff to work with. It spreads less diseases. It saves lives, and then
And if there's a place where they can go to get free needles, and that means there's a place they can go to get help with their addiction
well, yeah, it's easier for them to do that. And it's
because they're not
stigma.
ashamed, or at least they're less ashamed.
Yeah. So
And a lot
um
of times those kinds of places are run by former addicts themselves.
yeah. I mean, like I think that would be like dangerous. Like if I was an addict, I would be like, dang, dude. Like just seeing somebody like get like a high and then you're like, I remember the good old days. Maybe just one last
I
taste.
know how that feels.
Yeah. But I don't know. Hopefully it works out. So Leah Michelle.
Yeah, so Leah Michelle is the former star. For those of you who don't know, she is the former star of the TV show Glee,
Yes.
from Fox. From I don't know, I guess I was in junior high and high school when it was out.
Yeah, one of the
Maybe
few cast
high
members
school
that
or
hasn't
college.
died yet.
Don't remind me. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, real honestly, the only one I'm sad about is Santana. The other
Santana.
ones I don't. They weren't really my favorite characters. Santana, the girl,
Yeah, I know.
because she was a
Uh
lesbian.
Naya
Um,
Rivera.
yes,
She had a son.
yeah.
Oh, but she was gay in the
She
show.
saved, she was gay in the show. Yes.
And she
I
saved her
actually
son.
did, when she died, I did write a joke about it. Not about her death, but just about like what she did for me as a young lesbian growing up. It was important for me to see that kind of representation because she wasn't, she wasn't Ellen. She wasn't like because I mean,
Like
not
an
that I
older
have a
woman.
problem. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, that's not what I'm really trying to say here. Um, it's not that I have a problem with Ellen. It's just that I think because of who she is, a lot of people tend to see and like prefer to see lesbians that are just like these sexless talk show hosts. Just like nice Midwesty kind of white ladies, like that kind of lesbian they're okay with. But Santana was like a very um like openly sexual
Oh yeah.
character, which I think was important to show. Um, and also, she was mean, which I loved. She was mean on TV. I love a mean girl. I think it's important to have different kinds of lesbians on TV. So it's not just like,
Yeah.
we're not all fucking Ellen, who turns out is also a bitch, but that's besides the point.
Well, I mean,
So
like,
I had this. So this is the joke that I had about Naya Rivera. It's like I really appreciate everything she did for the gay movement, even though she isn't gay herself. I think it's very important that we have different representation in media. So I'm always thankful for her for helping me to also not only discover my sexuality and kind of find myself, like find my place in this world, but also for helping me discover my clit. I'm really grateful. Rest in peace. Don't let your mom listen to that one. It's a
Okay.
weird take. I understand. When I do that joke, people like get weird about it. I'm like, I mean,
I get you. I thought Naya Rivera was hot. There's
I
like
think
an
the character Santana would appreciate that joke.
there's like an episode where she's like one of the Santa's little helpers, and that was like one of my favorite episodes for a while. I don't remember what else happened in that episode though. Um, nah, but like Glee had
So,
this. All right, we're talking about Leah Michelle though.
yeah, we are
Leah,
talking about Leah Michelle.
I did like
Um,
one of the last interviews Naya Rivera had about Leah Michelle. They're like, "Would you ever work with her again?" And she's like, "Yeah, I would work with her again. She's very talented. Like, that's the only nice thing that she could say about
yeah,
her." I don't know. I just thought that was funny. But
yeah.
go on.
So Leah Michelle is finally going to do Funny Girl, and it's like super meta because that's something that she always talked about wanting to do as the character Rachel in Glee. And the thing that we've kind of been finding out for a few years, I guess, is how much she was actually like her character, just like a really very talented, very skilled performer, and singer, incredible voice, but like literally the most annoying person I have ever seen on a television show. So she's finally getting to play Funny Girl. And so everybody that is like a Glee fan is just like, this is so hilarious because she always wanted to do it as the character. And as soon as she gets to do it, the Sue Sylvester, the actress who plays Sue Sylvester, Jane Lynch, is currently on Funny Girl, and she will have left Funny Girl whenever Rachel gets on there, which is exactly what the character Sue Sylvester would do because everybody fucking hates Rachel. I don't know that there's a point to the story except that everybody hates Leah Michelle.
Leah Michelle. Yeah, I'll agree that she's talented. I've actually thought that she was funny in Scream Queens.
I did not see that.
Yeah, there's some very funny scenes.
Did she have to make herself cry in that movie like she does on every fucking episode of Glee? My
Uh,
boyfriend doesn't love me. I didn't get the show I wanted to do. Stop crying.
Yeah, so I went to high school with this girl, and the second that they started like the second I watched the first episode of Glee, I was like, that's and I want to say her name, but I'm not gonna say her name. Um,
That's nice of you. I fucking would.
from my high school. I was like, that's her. So I was in drama club when I was in high school. I did it between baseball and football. I did club in the middle of the year, and I enjoyed it. Like some of my best friends are still from drama club. Um, she was in our drama club, and every time she didn't get a part that she wanted, the specific part that she wanted,
Would she cry?
she just talked shit about everybody, like to their faces, and then like as if like we would understand. They're like, you know, you suck, right? Like you can't get mad at me for saying it because you've seen you, right?
Wow.
Like,
That is very Leah Michelle.
and dude, she was just
She's not
horrible.
as talented as me.
Yeah, she was horrible. One, Leah Michelle's a better singer than this girl that I went to high school with, but she always wore heels. She always wore like she had a look. She wanted to look like Marilyn Monroe all the time, so she had a very specific look that she
Uh-huh.
always had.
Is she
Um,
blonde?
yeah, she was not naturally blonde.
Okay.
So and then so one day I made a joke that I thought that would be obvious, but she was singing. Her first name starts with G, and so she was singing, and I was like, and then she's like, that's the spot right there, and she kept on saying that. Like she started like talking like a R&B singer just out of nowhere for like a good 2 months. She just started talking to everybody like
Just
she
like
was
in
like a
regular
diva.
conversation?
Yeah, like she was like a diva R&B
What was she
singer.
like?
It's like, hey babies. Mm.
Oh
It's like,
God.
yeah, it was annoying, but she's like, that's the spot right there. That's the spot. Like she like left the Marilyn Monroe thing for like a minute and became like a fucking diva. Like she was like Gladys Knight in the Pips. And I told her, I was like, that should be your name, G Spot, right?
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh my God, that's it.
She
And
said
then,
that's the spot right there.
yeah, she kept on saying that's the spot right there. That's the G spot. And then so I was like, all right. And then like I didn't think that it would catch on. And then everybody started calling her G spot for a while. And so it became like this big
But she
thing.
liked it?
she loved it for a bit, and then somebody told her what it
She
meant,
figured out people were making fun of her.
and then everybody got
She
in
didn't
trouble.
know what it meant.
She didn't know what it meant. No, okay, I'm
Oh
not
my
making this up.
God.
So she didn't know what it meant. She just thought it was great. And then everybody else like heard her say it and they're like, that's hysterical. I'm fucking doing that too. And then everybody got in trouble for bullying. Like our whole drama club, everybody was like, they're like, you don't fucking do that. And I was like, she's the worst though. But yeah.
But also,
But
a G spot's not a bad thing. That's not a negative thing to call somebody. It's funny, especially because she doesn't know what it means and she doesn't understand that people are making fun of her.
well, she lived in her own little world because I
What is
think
she
that
doing now, I wonder?
I don't know. I kind of want to look her up on Facebook, but I also don't want her to see my friend request. So I don't know. Um,
Make a fake Facebook.
okay, maybe I'll do that. I actually already have a fake Facebook. Anyway,
That's weird.
yeah, I'm a creep. I already told you. So no, but yeah, she also lived in this her own little world where she really thought that people liked her,
Hmm.
and yeah, and then like when people
See,
like
at least the character Rachel knew that nobody really liked her.
I don't know, like, but she just assumed that when people didn't like her that they were jealous, and I was like, no, because you're just mean to everybody.
You're kind of a cunt.
Yeah, you're just horrible. Like there was no like I know teenagers just typically have like a lot of problem with introspective and like looking at themselves
Hmm.
through like the eyes of other people. But her it was like delusional. Like she looked in the mirror and saw like Marilyn Monroe and Selena had a love child.
Was she Mexican?
Oh yeah, she was Mexican.
How did she think she was going to be married? Okay.
Yeah, I don't
I mean, I guess, yeah,
yeah. No,
sure.
she bleached her hair. Uh, and she just did a
I mean, not
Marilyn.
that there aren't like, because there are Mexicans that have blonde hair,
Yeah.
but
Well,
there's nothing wrong with your natural hair color.
no, like there's nothing wrong with bleaching your hair. There's nothing wrong with your natural hair color. Like that wasn't the stuff that people didn't like her for. It was just she also had a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
Like so my school was weird because
So
it
her
was a
parent, that's probably she got that from her parents. Her parents were just like, if your schoolmates are making fun of you, they're just jealous. Because that's what, like, they probably think that about their friends, you know?
yeah. Well, my school was weird in the fact that we had poor kids and rich, like the poor kids that got kicked out of all the other schools, and then the rich kids that were like too good for other school. Like our school, like just gathered kids from all over the state in this one charter school.
Hmm.
So we had kids from all over the city, and like they were from like really rich to really poor. Like one of my best friends lives in a trailer park, and then one of our other best friends lives in a house that could fit my house in it 3 times. So
Jesus.
yeah, it was like a weird clash of characters. But yeah, she was one of the rich people at our school. Oh yeah, and her dad was mean too. Like her dad talked down to everybody, and then everywhere he went, he acted like he owned the place. But
I hate rich people.
I hate all of them
I think they're
except
all bad.
except for Tom Hanks. He's good. Okay, so we're gonna end on. I think that's
Two
it.
truths and a lie, right?
Two truths and a lie. Do you want to start or me?
I think that's all the stories.
Yeah, I think that's all the stories.
Oh, we didn't do the Jeanine Garofalo thing, but we can talk about that because I think that's going to be like a bigger conversation about like um
I didn't know she,
purpose.
I didn't know she was still doing stand up.
I mean, I didn't know either, but I think that's good because that means she doesn't do it for anybody else, you know, that means she does it for herself, which I really respect and admire.
I respect that, admire that, but like there's like some level of like I think hubris that's like I only do this for myself. Like I only make music for myself, but like well you got to make something that other people are gonna like too. But I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean,
But I also
it's
thought
about
Janine
like
Garofalo was
it's
funny.
about your motivations, right? So like, are you motivated to create art um because you have a compulsion within you to create art, or are you motivated because you want to make money, or you want fame, you want notoriety, you want um people to like sexually worship you? Because there are those people that just like do the art that they do for not like nefarious reasons necessarily, but for reasons that I think kind of
That's why I got funny is because I wanted girls to like me.
yeah.
I didn't know I was gonna be handsome when I was 16.
Took you a long time to figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should talk about that
Okay.
next week.
next week. We'll talk about
Monday
that.
or Tuesday. I'm off all next week, so we can do Monday or Tuesday.
We
I
have to
have
do we have to do Monday or Tuesday because I have surgery on Wednesday.
okay, cool, because I have another podcast. I feel like I'm telling you I have another girlfriend or something.
This is ridiculous.
It's not my podcast, it's someone else's podcast that I'm gonna do the sound for.
Okay, because I realize you're married, but like after marriage, it's your podcasting partner.
Yes, I know. That's what I was like, I should tell you to be honest, but
It's like
I
it's your
feel guilty
wife,
about it.
it's your wife, your podcasting partner, and then Jesus. Like that's how it goes.
I don't know that Jesus is actually a factor currently in my life. I don't have time for Jesus, okay? I'm very
Jesus-
busy.
Jesus has time for everybody. He'll make, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, like my mom, don't watch this part. Don't watch this whole second part of this episode. Mom, turn it off before
Maybe
I
not the
said
first. I
this.
mean, maybe also not the first part where we talked about cum for like 10 minutes.
You know what, Mom?
Just skip this one.
episode. Mom, like I know I'm telling you
Just
now,
put
but
it out
have-
plain. Don't even listen to it. Just put it out raw. Also don't listen to that part.
have already skipped this episode before you had listened to this message. Anyway, okay, so we'll talk about Janine Garofalo. I really didn't know that she was still doing stand up. Like last time I remember seeing her, she was like at a march or something.
Probably. Dude, she's I love Janine Garofalo.
I love the truth about cats and dogs.
I'm not super like I love her as a concept, as a person. I know her stand up. I know a couple of the things she's been in, but I'm not like fully versed on her work.
Oh, yeah,
But I just love like the her attitude about things.
Oh yeah, she has a good vibe. Not like her and Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
Um,
And then she just like she was one of the few. We'll talk about it next week.
Okay, so two truths and a lie. Do you want to go first? Or I'll go first. I'm gonna.
You go first.
Okay, so how this game works is I'm gonna say two things that are true about me, and one thing that is a complete and total lie, and Selena, the teenage witch, has to guess. Sorry,
Okay.
Sabrina, the comedian. I messed that up, didn't I?
Yep.
Anyway.
I wanted to do a joke where it's like I wasn't not like Sabrina the teenage witch, more like Selena the teenage bitch. Because I was a bitch when I was a teenager. I still am sometimes.
I don't want to sound sexist, but most girls are.
Yeah. Most teenage boys also are.
Most
would say.
teenage boys are
Bitch,
gross.
I think is a gender
Boys
neutral
are-
term.
Yeah, boys are gross and douchey. Girls are mean and bitchy. Like,
I don't know. I knew a lot of mean guys in high school.
well, yeah, I mean, like,
Just like really mean to girls, you know.
I guess everybody can be everything, but yeah, I don't know. Nobody was meaner than my sister in high school when she
Yeah.
was in high school. Like, she was like an emotional terrorist. She would feel the vibe of the house being warm and comforting and like, or us just having a good time. And she would
Mhm.
just have to go and ruin it. Sometimes she would just walk in a huff, grab food and walk out in a huff just so we knew that she was in a bad mood.
Right.
And then so she could be mad at us later for not doing anything about it. Like, I don't know.
Is
love
no
you,
one gonna
Jenny.
comfort me? No.
Jenny, deep down, I love you and you're great now. You were just horrible for like a good 5 years.
But you grew out of it. Thank God.
Yeah, you grew out of it.
I mean, I feel like I grew out of it, and then sometimes whenever somebody like pisses me off, and my first impulse is to like emotionally scar them for the rest of their lives. I'm like, but don't do that, Selena, because you're an adult now
Yeah.
and you should be nice. But secretly, like, I'm thinking about,
Yeah.
you know.
Like everybody has those thoughts. I was like, that guy's a jerk. I want to figure out where.
Okay,
where
well,
his
you're just
car
mad at
is.
me because your mother never loved you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't help you with it
Yeah. See,
too
like
far.
everybody has that. Like, I'll get somebody to get mad at me, or like I'll get mad at somebody and be like, I want to figure out where your car is. Take a shit on the hood, but I don't do that because I'm an adult now. But there's like a part
See,
of me
I don't
that
do,
wants
like,
to.
I like to do this. I like to plant a little seed in people's brains that they don't think about whenever I tell them, but then they text me about it like 3 months later, like, yeah, that thing you said really made me think, and now I'm sad.
Okay.
They're like, that's fun for me. That's like, I wait. I just sit there and plot, and I just,
It's like little grenades, like little truth
yeah,
bombs
I
that
like to
are
do
gonna
that.
go off later on when they're at home,
Well,
like
no,
just
like
before they go to
sometimes
bed.
I do genuinely think that they help people sometimes, and sometimes I just do it for my own
Yeah,
entertainment and benefit. So, maybe I am still a bitch. I'm not.
yeah. Like that's
I'm
what
not
like a lot of
entirely sure.
sociopaths say is like, I am helping them by just tearing them
Well, because
down.
sometimes, like, I don't know. Sometimes people need to understand. Because I mean, it's usually just people that like consider themselves very like liberal.
Hmm.
Um, and then we'll have a discussion kind of completely unrelated to politics, and they'll say something that's actually mildly racist or like something sexist, or like there was this one time I went to a friend's house and we were playing poker and they had this music playlist on and it was fine. It was just um like dive bar type music, just like real unoffensive, easy listening kind of stuff. And they were like, it was actually it was Corey's house. I guess I can say that he used to be on this podcast.
Yeah,
And they were like really proud of their playlist. They were like, yeah, I think we just made a really great playlist. This is a good one. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Are there any Black people on this playlist? Like, are there any like Black artists on this playlist? And they were like, does Darius Rucker count? I was like, no,
not anymore. Not since
never.
Hootie.
Not since Hootie and the Blowfish. He definitely does not count. And they didn't even have Darius Rucker on there. And then, like, I think I talked to them a couple weeks after that. They were like, yeah, we didn't realize that when we made the playlist, but I think we should include. I was like, I was literally fucking with you. Like, I was just trying to like make you feel bad about something you really shouldn't feel bad about just because I thought it was funny to say it. But it literally does not matter. It's just a playlist.
My cousin was going on a date one time, and she's like, "How do I look?" And I was like, "Is it like an abstinence only date? Like, is it one of those like we're waiting for marriage and you don't want to
Wow.
like? Is he courting you or is he like?" And then she's like, "Oh my god!" And like I was seriously just said it to fuck with her, and then it was like, and then 5 outfits later, and then like a huge argument with her mom, and I was like, I shouldn't have said anything. I was joking.
I know. I should really clarify that more often whenever I say things like that. So like I'm literally just saying this to mess with you because I am personally entertained. I didn't mean to ruin your night. Sorry.
It's like I didn't. I am sorry that like I'm a bad person
I didn't mean
sometimes.
it.
There's a bad person inside me that slips out and takes control of my mouth.
Yeah.
You look fine. Go to your date. I'm sure he's going to be disappointed, but it's fine. But he'd
You
be
look great.
disappointed
You
no
know
matter
what?
what you're wearing.
I think this particular man does not like to see tits. So I
Yeah.
think you look great.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You like your boobs aren't great anyway, so don't even bother. Don't
You're not
even
hiding
bother.
anything special.
No. But yeah, I don't know. But like that's something that I also had to realize is that girls take like their looks way more serious than guys. So like guys do take their looks more serious than I think girls think they do, but still less than
Mhm.
guys than your average teenage girl, I think.
Yeah, I would
Because
agree with that. I mean, I know a bunch of guys that are like very vain,
well, yeah, but like
which I am too, which is why I can say that.
well, like another example, like with either of my sisters, like I'll say stuff to them that I'll say to my brothers and not think anything of it, but like to them, it bothers them, and I have to remember. I was like, oh yeah, no, I forgot. Like I'm sorry, because like I'll
Yeah.
say stuff just to like throw like just to be dicks, and sometimes like it gets to them. So yeah, uh, yeah, actually, it might like I don't want to, but yeah, I don't want to bring up any particular thing. Two truths and a lie. We'll do that now.
I like how you're like, I'm not going to name anybody, and I name everybody.
I I should stop.
Like, don't even bleep it.
Yeah. I
I
never
want Corey to hear me making fun of it.
I never said Gabrielle's name, so there. I'm kidding, that's not her name.
It does start with a G.
Let's start with a G.
Two truths and a lie. Go.
Okay.
That was actually the lie. Is that her name is Gabrielle?
No, that's not the lie.
Okay.
That's not the truth either. Nah. So I would never have I okay, wait. I
I
was
was gonna say, are we
I was
playing
like,
Never Have I Ever?
I
We're
don't
doing
know.
okay.
I don't it was a different drinking game that popped in my head. I once won a erotic limbo contest at a strip club, and they gave me $250.
Okay.
I was once slipped drugs at an EDM concert
Okay.
and tried to drive home and forgot how mirrors worked. That's the whole thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
And the last one was I was misidentified as another person and had the cops called on me at a bar and I was put in handcuffs and put in the back of a cop car for 2.5 hours before they realized I was not the right person.
What was the first one?
I won an erotic limbo contest at a strip club
Okay,
and
okay,
they gave me
okay.
$250.
I don't know. Honestly, I can see all of these things. I guess I'm gonna go with the first one. That's the lie.
Okay. The first one is absolutely true.
Okay.
It was actually Jaguars, the one we were talking about earlier.
That one makes, I mean, all of these, I was like, all of these kind of sound a little bit true. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the point of this.
Yours are so much more complicated than mine.
Okay. So, at a strip club one time, we didn't know about it, but like I even have the card still somewhere that saying that they were advertising like strip club games at Jaguars just to get people to come in because the naked ladies weren't enough to get people to come in. So they had an erotic limbo contest and they asked for like 5 guys and 5 girls to come up. And I was easily the tallest person on stage. And the DJ had $250 that he was gonna like make it rain on somebody, but I won, so he didn't give me that $250. They gave me cash in the back. So I won a erotic limbo contest. First time I ever left a strip club with more money than I came in with.
I was gonna say, did you then proceed to spend all that money on the girls? Because I would have.
I should have, but like I didn't.
It
Like,
would be the right thing to do.
Yeah, like
It'd be the pro-labor thing to do.
I just put it right back into the economy. But no, well, I spent some of it, but yeah, no, I left with most of the money still. At an EDM concert, somebody had like a vape and they're like, you want to take a hit of this? And I was like, sure, thinking it was just like a regular vape. And there was something in it because the chain smokers started sounding great. And then when like I was
It must have been really high.
Yeah, and I only had like 2 beers that whole night, so I was like, I'm good to drive, we're fine. And then I remember like looking at the mirror and I was like, okay, in the mirror, everything's opposite, right? So if the car's going away from me in the mirror, does that mean it's coming towards me in real life? And
You
then I
thought
was
about
like,
it too hard.
and I was like, guys, we can't. And then all my friends were
That's
like,
like the time that like I was really high and I was like, I turned on the oven, which is not something you should do when you're high.
Yeah.
And I was like, why can't I set my oven to 357 degrees? Why can't I only do it in intervals of 5? And I was like, this is too out. I have to stop.
Yeah, like you start thinking about the dumbest shit when you're high, and then like everything comes too confusing. So then I got out of the car, and then my buddy gets out of the car, and he's like, "Where's the hotel?" And I was like, "We haven't left the parking lot. We're still at the concert." I was like, "You didn't notice the car wasn't moving, and we were only in it for like 5 minutes? Like you didn't notice?" So we called an Uber, and I paid like $80 for a freaking Uber, but it's whatever. The
It was
last
for safety.
the last story is true, but it didn't happen to me.
Oh, okay.
I got kicked out of a bar for getting in a fight with my ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, which is stupid. Like neither of us are even dating the girl that we're fighting over. That's how dumb guys are sometimes. So we got in a fight, and then my buddy went back, and they thought he was me because they're like, "That's the guy." And then they put him in handcuffs and put him in the back of a car. Cop car.
They mistook him for you?
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
But
so
it wasn't.
You got somebody arrested.
Well, I didn't get him arrested. I got him detained. Like getting detained and getting arrested, wildly different things.
Less paperwork, slightly less paperwork.
Yeah, the cop can just let you go and just say no harm, no foul.
My bad.
It wasn't the cop's fault. Like I think the bartender was like, "That's one of the fucking guys."
Yeah,
and
probably.
They're like, "No, it's not that's not the right guy."
Well, and if they didn't have a name, they should have just been like, "Hey, can you leave this bar?"
Well, I think he was going back for his ID or something. No, he's going back to pay the bill. Because we just hauled ass out of there, and he's like, "I'm gonna go pay the bill." He's like, "They're not gonna." I was like,
he's like being the responsible one.
Yeah, and seriously, we were waiting in the parking lot next to the bar. We were waiting in like behind there's a bank right there, and we're waiting
Mhm.
behind the bank in the parking lot, and we just saw him get like arrested, and we're like, should we wait? It'd be fucked up to leave
You're like,
now.
what should we do?
So yeah, but yeah, so technically the last one was true too. It just didn't happen to me. It happened to somebody else. All right, your turn.
Okay. I was once a soccer player in junior high. I played the goalie. I have watched countless hours of gay male porn. And I they can be partialized, right?
Sure,
Okay, and that counts as the lie, as the one
sure.
that's a lie. Okay. Um, I went to Disney World when I was 18 and smoked a cigar.
Say the last one just because of like how you asked that question just beforehand. But the hours of gay porn just doesn't seem like you. Like what
Which
what
one is
would
the
you
lie?
what would you be watching hours of gay porn for?
I don't know. Which one is the lie?
Like educational purposes?
Have you picked the lie? Is that your lie? Is that the
Well,
one you're
like
picking?
I don't know, like are you worried about that sperm deficiency? Because it's not a real thing.
No, you have to pick which one is the lie, and then we discuss.
Okay. Um, Soccer. Do you look like a soccer player though?
I don't know. Maybe not anymore. We talked about earlier how my face is much rounder than it was. I
Yeah.
don't know. Honestly, my face was pretty round when I was in eighth grade.
What what's a red card mean?
It's like a foul, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know either. Soccer sucks. Um, are are you allowed to smoke cigars at Disneyland? Was it Disneyland or Disney World? Then
Disney World.
not that that matters. Uh, huh. I'm gonna say the gay porn thing because that just doesn't make sense.
You think that's a lie?
Yeah, I think that's a lie.
Are you sure? Is
Yeah,
that your final answer?
yeah.
It's not. The
Why
first
then?
one is a lie. I wasn't a goalie. I did play soccer, but I wasn't very good. They didn't put me in very often. I hated running, which is I don't know why I told my mom I wanted to play soccer. I hated running.
Yeah, that
I
red.
did smoke. I smoked a cigar. It wasn't technically at the park. It was like right inside the gate
Oh,
at Disney World, and
but
they
they
were
let.
like, "You can't smoke here." But I did start smoking it.
Oh, okay, I'll count it. Why are you
It
watching?
counts. I was technically there.
You were technically in the magical
I was on
kingdom.
the property. Yeah.
Yeah. So why are you watching gay porn?
I used to watch it a lot. I don't know. It's actually pretty common for lesbians to watch gay. To me, it's like straight porn is bad. Like it's for the most part, there are some decent companies that make uh I guess acceptable content. But the way that it's just fake. Like it doesn't seeing a woman like that is so unrealistic to me. It doesn't like I can't it doesn't work, you know. And then lesbian porn for the most part is not made for lesbians. It's made for men to watch two women.
Yeah, I think
Um
I support that industry a little bit more than maybe I
yeah.
should.
So the two gay guy thing, it's like there's no women involved and I have no problem objectifying a man.
Okay. That still doesn't
It's like a
compute.
weird confession to make, right?
It's not computing in my head at all.
There's okay, so there's a trans comedian. She has a joke about like how she likes gay porn, but she's like a lesbian trans comedian. I
Yeah.
actually don't know if she's had bottom surgery. Not that that matters. But she says that she likes she likes gay porn because she's like, I just like the idea that she's like, I hate men, everything about them. They disgust me. I hate them. But two men together, now we're cooking with gas. She's like, I just like it because they're not out there bothering women. And honestly, that's kind of how I feel about it too. So I'm like, there's not a woman here that's being
Annoyed.
objectified. There's not a woman here that's having to fake something that she's not actually enjoying. I don't care if a man is doing it. They don't mean anything to me.
Okay. That's
I got you on that one, huh?
that's I have no idea what to say to that. Um I don't know, like I've read gay porn before and I think it's kind of interesting. I found this I accidentally found like a weird gay porn site once on like Pornhub. I don't know
Accidentally,
why.
sure.
No, like I don't know why. Like it suggested it to me, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" It was just the weirdest thing in the world. But I don't want to describe it. Um,
I think there's another comedian. There's like a male comedian who has a joke about watching. He's like, I don't like to watch porn where the man has like a very small penis.
why?
I don't know. He says he doesn't because he likes to see a big one, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, like I want to see some. I want to see one of those backbreakers. It's like, what the fuck is that? It's like,
Where she's like, I don't even think that's safe. Get that away from her.
like, what, what, what are you gonna do with that? Leave her alone. No, like, uh, so when I was in New Orleans, I went to, I went to a gay strip club. We went to a few different strip clubs. Like you're in New Orleans, like you got to hit up strip clubs, and we were mostly with like my friend Marin, and she had two gay friends. So they're like, well, you got to let us go to a gay strip club now. So we went, and sorry about that, guys. So we went, and the guy, there was one dude, he had his bottoms on, but he had a full on boner, and it looked like there was like a joint in it.
Oh
It was
God.
the fuck, like, and I just kept, and I,
It had an
and
elbow.
yeah, like, if it's, I had to have been like one of the only straight dudes there because everybody was having a good time. Like, everybody was
Mm.
either like a woman or a gay dude, and it was me, and I just would
You
not
were
stop.
uncomfortable.
No, I would not stop staring at that dude's dick. Like, I was just like, the
You're
fuck?
just like, I just want to see this for science.
Like, I was like, that's fake, right? Like, that's not real, right? Like, what's going on here? Like,
He's like, I don't know. Figure
excuse me,
it
sir,
out.
sir, I'm down here, sir. What? Can I can I touch it?
Like, is
Just
that
for
in
a
two pieces or is that one piece?
Yeah,
Is it like
like
one attached to another?
like, do you lose feeling in your toes when that's erect? Like,
You're like, do you feel dizzy right now?
like is everything okay? Do you, do you know what's going on down here? So, like, but yeah, like it was just like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Oh yeah, and it was like one of the very few times in my life that I was bought a drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the guy like just brought it over to me. Like the bartender didn't give it to me, and I know the rules. Like you don't drink something that you didn't buy
Oh,
yourself.
yeah.
So I was like, "Thank you," but I was also like, "I don't know if I should drink this."
Did you drink it?
Yeah, but
But
I
you were a little bit like, well, I just hope this doesn't have anything in it.
was like, if something happens, don't let him do it. That would kill me.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think that's actually what happened to you, right? That's why you had to get a lung transplant.
I I don't know. That was when did we go? It was in 2016, so it was
Oh,
a very
okay.
delayed reaction. Why is this my razor is
It
starting for no reason?
perforated your lungs.
Why are you updating? My razor is updating for no reason right now. Anyway, I'm not even using that camera. I haven't found that camera. That's a really nice camera, by the way. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Didn't you used to use that one?
Yeah, and it's really good. I have no idea
Yeah.
where it is. Like everything's like somewhere in the move, and I think it's still in Texas. I think all my good stuff's coming back in Texas. Have you ever gone to a gay strip club? Have you ever gone to a strip club?
Yeah, we went to the strip club. I've been to a strip club twice. So I went once when I lived in San Angelo. I was very uncomfortable, but I think it's because we went with men.
Which one? Desiree's in San Angelo?
I think so.
That's the one. That's the only one I've been
It's
to
like
in
super
San
close to
Angelo.
a church.
Yes, and like also
Yeah.
right down the street, there's an accelerated learning program for like kindergartners and stuff, just
Hmm.
right across the street. Like literally,
I love
they're
that.
corner to corner.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that one. But I don't think I had very much money either, so I felt bad.
Oh yeah.
Like I shouldn't really be there. And then I went, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago with Val, and we did go with a different guy, but it was mostly like me and Val hanging out. It was actually I had a lot of fun.
They can be.
I wrote a pretty good, I think, little chunk of jokes about it.
Oh yeah.
I had a good experience. I just felt bad. Like the next day I was like, oh, I did spend like a lot of money.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing about strip clubs is you spend a lot of money. Like,
Yeah.
you're like,
But I
this
mean,
girl, this
they
girl loves
definitely
me and she's
deserve it.
beautiful.
Oh, I don't think that. I'm like, these girls are worth. It's like, to me, it's like the same thing. Like when I'm doing comedy and I have to pretend to like enjoy people's company
Oh
and
yeah.
like talk to them and stuff, like before and after the show, where I have to like,
Yeah,
you chat with the audience a little bit, try to
um
make a connection.
yeah. Yeah, I get it. Uh I think stripping is kind of like an easy way to make money. Like, yeah, they deserve it because like they're working for it and
Oh,
there's
they
like
work.
a
I mean,
demand.
those girls work harder in 3 minutes than I work in a 12-hour shift.
I don't think that's true. I think most of those girls don't want to do a 12-hour shift. Like,
No, but I'm saying like they do more work in 3 minutes than I do in a 12-hour shift, like physically.
oh yeah, I'm sure sometimes.
There was this one girl that she went up because it was like, so this particular strip club is called Angel Witch. It is like a warehouse. It's a very tall warehouse kind of building. Kind of looks like just like a giant shed.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so the poles are really, really high, and you can see like the beams on the ceiling and everything. And this one girl went up to the beam on the ceiling and started doing pull-ups.
Oh, I've seen stuff like that before.
I was like, holy shit, this
Yeah,
bitch is in shape.
yeah,
And then
it's
she like she was twisting down and stuff in the bottom. And so I just like yelled at her. I was like, you're in amazing shape. Oh my God.
I
You're
was like,
very strong. And then um she came in like because I had put some money on the stage or whatever. It was just like complimenting her on how strong she was. And she like came in front of us and like started just like casually doing push-ups, having a conversation. She must have done like, I don't know, like 25 push-ups, like real solid, perfect form push-ups. And I was like, oh my God, what do you do? Like, do you just like go to the gym? She's like, yeah, that's all I do is I go to gym. I go to the gym and I come back here and I work. And that's what I do. Like, that's my whole life.
it's like I
And you could
skipped.
tell too.
Oh yeah, like, I actually, yeah. Sometimes they're like, oh, that girl's muscular. That girl could probably beat the shit out of me.
Yeah. Well, and I think they're all pretty strong for the things that they have to do physically. Like, because they're always like lifting their legs up in the air, but like still kind of keeping their head. So it's like that's a lot of
Yeah,
core.
because and they also want to make eye contact because that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
I do think like I think it's a lot. I wish strip clubs were just for women. Um,
yeah, and then
'Cause
they
I
would
feel-
go out of business. Like you want the
I don't think so.
like
I mean,
if
because
you made
there
strip
there's
clubs just for women.
at least they should have like one night that's just for women.
Okay,
Because I feel like
So
guys really
that-
ruin that
that'd be
whole
the night-
experience.
that'd be the night that like they would have cleaning crews come in too. They're like, we're gonna get other stuff done. We're gonna get a lot of paperwork done tonight, guys. It's ladies' night.
It's actually we're gonna do book club.
Yeah.
Um,
So
because like whenever like as a girl in the strip club, you can tell that the dancers are much more comfortable with you.
maybe yeah, sometimes.
I mean, at least that's how I like when I go, I feel like just noticing how they would interact with the guys that were kind of like sitting across the stage from us and how they would interact with me and Val. It was like um they wanted us like I had a lot of girls that like wanted me to put the money in their like clothing. Not that I think it's weird to I don't really like to touch other people. It wasn't them specifically. I don't like to touch other people. It makes me
I don't like to
uncomfortable.
touch other people, but when it's like a girl like that, I'd be like, yeah, just whatever.
I was just like, oh
Whatever
no,
you
thank you.
let.
And I just like said it there, but I wasn't trying to like make a thing about it. Because I didn't want the dancer to be like offended that I didn't want to touch her. It's just like, honestly, if you were my friend, I probably still wouldn't touch you in your underwear. Like that's a weird, to me,
Yeah.
that it's my personal boundary that I'm setting for myself. And then I got up, I was like kind of leaning over the stage to kind of push the money further away, and the stripper like came up and smacked me on the butt.
You got SA'd.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I was just like, oh, okay. She was like, oh, big old booty. I was like, ma'am, please don't. I am uncomfortable now.
Personal bubble, ma'am. No, like
I'm
uh,
giving you this money because I'm a socialist and you're a worker. Okay.
I want this to
I
go
don't
back
really
into
want to
the
be touched.
economy. It's gonna rotate. No. So one time a girl tried to pull my hand, and it was actually at my friend's bachelor party. She tried to pull my hand into her crotch, and I was like, "This is it." And I like I think I made like a little face
Uh-huh.
too. And then
Oh
she's like,
no.
and then she called me gay. And I was like, I don't know
Ma'am, that's
you.
homophobic.
It's like I don't know you. And then she's like, whatever. And then she apparently forgot or whatever because she came
Uh-huh.
back. But we were like the only dude. We were only people in one. We were probably most of the people in there was like our group.
Hmm.
We went super early. It was like 5 o'clock. And I was like,
In
dang.
the afternoon?
Yeah, like the sun was still out. It's weird being in a strip club when the sun's still out.
That is super weird.
But so my cut okay, I'm not gonna say her name. I sent you an article. Remember, I sent you an article about that girl stealing from the boosters, and uh, hopefully, if any of my family's watching, I apologize, but you guys know. Um, so that girl that I sent you a photo of, that was
Hmm.
stealing from her football boosters in Odessa.
Hmm.
That's my cousin. The very first time I ever went to a
Okay.
strip club, she was a stripper there.
Oh, that's awkward.
Awkward experience in my life. And she didn't even recognize me because it's been years since we've seen each other. It was also
Uh-huh.
Jaguars. And I was there with my cousin Gorlo, and he's like, oh, fuck me. I just consider names. I gotta beep that.
We'll bleep it. We'll cut that part out.
He's like, is that blank? And I was like, holy shit. And then so she came over to him and she gave him a hug. She's like, don't tell anybody you've seen me working here. And then I was like,
Uh-huh.
hey. And then she's like, hey, what's up? And she gave me a hug.
Hmm.
And I was like, you're naked. This is weird.
Yeah.
And
I don't
then
know that I would have been comfortable with that. Like, not that I don't know. I just don't like, I don't like to touch other people like that.
yeah,
Like, I'll hold hands with anybody. I don't care. I'll hold hands with anybody, but I don't want to like
that
full
seems more
body
intimate.
embrace.
Like a
Holding
hug,
hands?
like I'll hug anybody, but like holding their hands, like you're either like a
Well, I'm
small
not like
child.
crossing my fingers with them. You just like you hold their hand to like, because you have to do that. I mean, I don't know if you
Like
have to do
you
that, but it's
shake your
something I
hand.
do like as a girl who goes to bars with other girls or other people that
Oh, that's
are
yeah,
not
maybe that's a girl
necessarily
thing.
don't like,
Guys don't
yeah,
hold
that's what I mean,
hands
I I do that all the time.
like unless they're like a couple or like it's like small
But
children.
it's like a safety thing. It's like
It's
don't
like
let go of my hand. I'll lose you in this crowd because you're drunk.
and then we're never gonna see each other again.
Yeah.
Like yeah, yeah, that makes sense for like girls, but yeah, um, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
Well, and I'll dance with anybody too, but I don't know.
that
For some reason, touching someone's skin would freak me out, I think.
well, did you know that what was it? So the hazing that I went through my first year in baseball, we had
Hmm.
to go to a mall. The freshmen had to go to a mall and hold hands and walk through the mall with
Hmm.
each other, but like just like as if we were a couple. It was just this
Hmm.
weird hazing thing, but it was really
With
uncomfortable.
your hands like this or with your hands like this?
Not just normal like that,
Like this? Oh, that's
like
not
that.
gay.
Well, two dudes walking with their hands, holding hands around the mall.
Maybe one of them is blind.
I don't think so. I don't think we had any blind baseball players.
I don't know. I don't think holding hands like holding hands like this, I think is a little, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a girl and that's how I hold hands.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I
Like
remember.
like this is a little romantic, but actually sometimes when I'm holding a girl's hand to like bring her through the bar or something, I do hold her hand like that, but I think that's just my natural impulse.
Yeah. Too bad we can't do hazing anymore. That was fun.
That was a good time. Only a few people died
Yeah, like people die like
and
every
were scarred for life. But you
Yeah,
know,
like all the time they're scarred for life, but that's where the fun is before anybody starts at me. But uh, yeah, that same cousin, uh, her and I had a falling out recently because my friend posted, or my brother posted that I was getting engaged to another one of my
mhm,
friends, and then so she just put like finally being honest, and she's been lying like she's a pathological liar, and she's been
mhm.
lying to people saying that I was gay for years. I don't know why.
That's weird.
Yeah, and it actually it doesn't bother me like, but like, and everybody was making like their obligatory gay jokes or whatever, which is like whatever. But she said that, but I'm already mad at her. So for you, so she steals from everybody. She stole
Mhm.
from my grandma. She stole from my dad. She stole from me. Everybody in our family, anybody that's ever trusted her, she's stolen from. So she went to prison, and then she acts like nobody ever helped her. I was like, who drove your kid to school for like half a year when you were in prison? Like,
Mhm.
um, anyway, so she's just a shitty person. But like everybody lets her get away,
Right.
and I've never called her out on it because I thought that if I ever said anything to her, she would stop bringing her son around. But she never brings her son around anyway, and he's 18. And we found out recently, and this is like unconfirmed, but I'm pretty sure it's true. So she stole from his football boosters, as that article uh, said that I sent you,
Mhm.
and that's like her face right there. And so I was like, "Fuck this bitch." And then turns out, so her son's 18 now, and he's trying to get a car,
Uh-huh.
and he can't because his credit's fucked up because
Oh
she's been
shit.
taking out credit cards in his name.
I hate that.
And for years, she's like, "I do it all for my kids. I may steal, but it's all for my children." So then I was like, "Fuck."
You're
And
stealing from your children, you sick. Fuck.
yeah, so I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I might like I haven't seen her in years. She didn't send one get well or we're thinking about you message to me the whole time I was sick. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. So she posted finally you being honest. And so I was like, it's funny you talking about honesty. And then she's like, excuse me. And then so I direct messaged her because I didn't want to get in a fight in front of
Mhm.
everybody. And I was like, let's be
You
honest,
should
Heather.
have. It would have been funny.
Yeah, I was like, let's be honest. And this is exactly what I wrote. I was like, you talking, I fucking said her name again. You talking about honesty is like Casey Anthony talking about good parenting.
Oh
Like,
Jesus.
and she's like, what is that supposed to mean? I was like, I can't explain your whole life to you. Like, you know what that means.
Right. That
And
reminds me, there's somebody has a roast joke about Caitlyn Jenner about how she's a bad mom. Oh, it's Nikki Glazer. She's like, yeah, at least what was it? Oh, what's her name? Who's that? Who did you just say? Not your cousin's name. Casey Anthony. She
yeah,
goes, at
Casey
least
Anthony.
Casey Anthony knows the current whereabouts of her own daughter.
Yeah. Ugh. Jeez.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, oh God, that is so bad. It is good.
One of my favorite Casey Anthony jokes was I can't remember his name, but he's like, um, if you could have sex with anybody on the planet, who would you have sex with? But right after you
And
had
why is
sex,
it Casey Anthony?
no, no. And he's like, but right after you had sex with them, they die right after you're done with having sex with them. And who would you have sex with? And then he's like, Casey Anthony, two birds, one stone. And then I was like, that's pretty good.
That's a pretty good answer, actually,
Yeah.
because I don't think that anybody, I mean,
She's kind of cute. Like she's cute. Like she's like a solid 6, 7.
ooh, I would, so my pick for that would be, um, oh, I can't think of, like, I feel like my brain's not functioning well today. Who's the lady?
Which lady? Should I just
Woman,
name
boyfriend. Just start
woman?
naming women. Name one woman, Jodi Arias.
Oh, yeah, she's cute. I see that. She's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like another chick.
But she's crazy. She probably does weird shit, you
Yeah,
know?
there was like another girl that stabbed her boyfriend to death, but she's also really, really cute. She had like these big glasses, this like nice like perm, but she stabbed her boyfriend to death. And I was like, what's her name? I'll pick her. I can't remember her name now, but she was really she was gorgeous. Like
You know what we should have done now that actually, now that I think about it,
what?
next time we do two truths and a lie, we should just do them and not say which one. is the lie and let the listeners guess.
Okay, I like that.
And then we'll reveal it on the next episode.
All right. All
That
right.
way there's like a suspense.
Okay. But if listeners do want to do
And then
stuff,
we also don't tell each other which one is the truth and the lie
all right. So we
until
can speculate.
yeah.
Listeners, if you guys want, if you guys think if you could have sex with anybody in the world, but they died right after, who would you have sex with? And why are they your choice?
And it can't be Casey Anthony or Jodi Arias.
Can't be Casey Anthony, can't be Jodi Arias because
it has to be someone else.
Yeah.
Because Jodi Arias is my girlfriend. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Like the case, I already got dibs on Casey Anthony. She's solid. She's a solid 7. You know, she's free. She doesn't have any kids to worry about. Like no child support.
Horrible.
So
horrible.
Like you're only gonna have to pay child support for a few years anyway, so it's fine.
Maybe if that.
That's horrible, guys.
That is a really bad thing to say. Nobody should ever say anything like that.
You guys are both. We're both canceled.
Good.
All right.
I've been waiting.
So, I guess you had an announcement about your show really fast, and
I have an announcement about my show. Sure, I do. Actually, I'm doing a show tomorrow, which I don't think this episode is on Friday. I don't think this episode is going to come out by Friday, is it?
No, it's probably not.
Okay, well, but I will have done a show at the Mahone Public Library, which is pretty neat. And then next Friday, I'm headlining at Two Docs at 9:30 with a local comedian here, Rafa, and then our mutual colleagues / friends, Adrian Green and Sergio Cervantes, which is not how he says his name, but it's how I say it because
Sergio Cervantes.
Yeah.
I know Sergio. Is he really opening for Theo Von?
He already did.
I heard that. Freaking
he did. In Midland and here. I'm glad he got the opportunity in Midland, but I'm still kind of mad that he did here because it should have been, to me, I feel like it should have been a local comedian, but he did good. He did, I think he said he did better in Lubbock than he did in Midland.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where
salty about it, but
I'm really happy because he's a friend of mine, but like I haven't done comedy on stage in 2 years, and I feel like 2 years ago I was a much better comedian than him, but like he's been able to do comedy and I haven't, and now I'm like here and like I haven't seen him do a set in forever, but like it just reminds me that I was like I'm like stagnant here in other comedians.
I saw him. We did this show together in Big Spring, and he did this weird thing where like before, it was like in the first 45 seconds of his set, he was like, it was like he already gave up, and he was like, well, I'm bombing already. And I'm like, you don't say
bomb.
Don't say that you're doing that, because people don't know that you're not doing well until you tell
yeah. Like unless like it's like a like
it's a con. Everybody knows this is a con. We're all lying to each other. Like
yeah. Like
we're lying specifically to the audience.
Yeah. Just fake it.
Just fake it. They don't know any better.
Yeah. Like sometimes like if you get them set up good enough, you don't even have to have good punchlines. They just know when to laugh if you set it up
if you do the rhythm.
Yeah. Like that's something I fall back on if like
that's why people think John Mulaney is funny. I'm just
kidding. Yeah, John Mulaney. He has his moments. I thought Live at Radio City was okay.
I just find him to be a little annoying.
He's very pretty. My mom doesn't like him either. I don't know.
I just think he's boring. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
Something about women that like ruining my life hate John Mulaney.
Yeah.
And she's leaving us for another show.
Does she also hate Mark Normand? Your mom is leaving us for another show?
No, you are.
Oh. Right now?
No, you're going to another podcast.
Oh no, I'm doing the sound for it. I'm not technically on. I did do 3 episodes of it, but just as like a guest.
See that? She's cheating on us.
So it was like it wasn't a one-night stand because it was 3 times. So it was a 3-night stand. I had a brief 3-week affair with the other podcast.
You know what? It's okay because I do other podcasts sometimes too.
Good. I'm glad.
Did a podcast about transplants. Did a podcast with my buddy Gus. Get well soon, Gus. All right, I guess that's all. Oh yeah, check out our T Public store. I'm gonna links down below.
Yeah,
Um,
eventually I'll get my sweater.
oh, do you want to hear something dumb?
Did you forget to send it?
I sent it to my house.
Why would you send it?
It, I put
The house that you
I-
live in now?
yeah, I sent it here thinking that was a return address.
Oh,
So it's here again.
it just came back to you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's not 100% my fault.
So, I mean, it is a hoodie, so maybe I'll get it by the time it's actually cold enough here to wear it.
That's something I was thinking about too. I was like, why'd you get a hoodie? Like
Because I
it's
liked it the most.
in a record-breaking heat
I
summer
know.
in
It
Lubbock,
wasn't,
Texas.
I was just like, I really don't need another black shirt. So I'm gonna get a black hoodie because I don't have a black hoodie.
They come in different colors. You didn't look at our store? You can get them in any color.
I got a black hoodie, right? Or did I get navy?
Yeah, you got a black hoodie.
I see it's been so long since I bought it. I don't even remember if I looked at the other colors or not
Yeah.
because it's
You-
been that long.
So I guess we're done. We're just kind of we don't have any more topics. for
Now
you guys.
I'm just complaining to you.
All right. I guess that's our show.
That's the
Um,
show.
Check out our Teespring. Uh, don't eat babies. We'll make that into a shirt.
Yeah.
And
Don't
I
eat babies and support strippers.
support strippers. Yeah, no, I was gonna make a website a long time ago called andrewlikelapdances.com. And like it was gonna supporting single moms and young women working their way through college. It's called andrewlikelapdances.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of these days I'll set up that GoFundMe. Just see if it makes any money.
I bet it would.
It
It'd
probably
be
would.
it's like an adult Make-A-Wish type of thing,
Like I'll put like the thing as like $600, like GoFundMe.
That's the goal.
Like that's a good night at a strip club, $600.
Yeah.
And like I think I'm legally required to use it there. So yeah.
Right.
All right. My name is Andrew Holiday.
My name is Selena.
This has been Comedically Correct, and we are sorry for wasting your time. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.